Hi there, welcome to the... Hi there. Hello there, welcome to the Carbon Copy Podcast, episode 23. This is our very first podcast of 2021. We've got no guest for you this week. What we are doing is a follow-up to our most popular episode of last year, which was Getting to Know Neil. And this is Getting to Know Neil 2. I think we're just calling it Getting to Know Neil 2. Coming up in the show this week, we discuss 2021, drinking every night, happy birthday Spanko, unfortunate emergency toilets, body parts, brain updates, embarrassing clothing, chickens versus elephants, more weird facts, drummers and piles, time travelling in the bookies, Bangor or Saint with Neil Diamond, Neil Finn, Neil Young and Neil Lennon as a wee bonus at the end there that nobody really wants to talk about. So, let's go.
Welcome to episode 23 of the Carbon Copy COVID Curer podcast, which will contain bad language. It's on Spotify and Apple and YouTube for any video lovers out there. We're a wedding band from Scotland doing this podcast for a very long time now, it seems. My name's Martin. I play guitar in the band. I'm joined by our lead singer David Swan.
Hello there.
And our bass player Matt Caulfield.
Hello there.
We've also got our drummer, Neil McDougall.
Hello.
This is our first podcast of 2021. We had a wee break. So we've got we've got a guest. We've got no guest today, but what we're going to do is recreate one of our most successful podcasts, which was Getting to Know Neil. So this is going to be Getting to Know Neil Part 2. So
Getting to know Neil again.
A lot has changed since he first met me.
Well, you developed a vaccine that's got 89% efficiency.
Only can be found in noodles as well.
What kind are they?
Curry noodles.
They look great.
Curry noodles and wine, man. That's it. That's the way forward.
And wine.
Nice.
You drink every night, Neil.
I know, it's really bad. This is the virus's fault, to be fair.
Aye, I blame that as well.
The drummer, and I always drive because I've always have my kit, but I don't gig, so I'm going to get drunk and fat. That's the virus.
Here.
So 2021, how's that been?
Fucking fabulous. Fucking off the charts, Merv. Fabulous. It's like the greatest year. Same as 2020, isn't it? Shite. Still waiting. Sitting here waiting, getting pissed like Neil, fucking eating too much shite. Nothing else to report. We really shouldn't do a podcast because there's fuck all to tell people. Literally none to fucking tell them.
We're trying to relieve them though.
I suppose that is a hard thing.
Okay.
From the woes of shite.
We're being stuck in the house, so they just have to be stuck in the house listening to us.
I know. Listen, I've been stuck in the house. I know.
With Zoom, it was Spanko's birthday, wasn't it, last week? Last week?
The week
40th.
before, aye.
Big
40th, big 40th.
50 actually, 50.
Yep. So, aye, and Craig Parker, his mate from Franco, got him a magician on the Zoom, and he was fucking brilliant.
The guy
was really good. Is it Ned? Ned?
I think his name was Neb, aye.
Neb from London.
Yeah.
But he's Scottish, the guy, wasn't he?
No, it's really good.
He was really good. Quite psychological magic stuff.
That was brilliant. I don't know
how he done that with the numbers. All 5s or 6s I picked a number and then he had it in a lottery ticket.
No idea.
And he said you can't pick the same number as somebody else, and somebody before me said 14 and he went David, and I went 14, 15. So mine was completely random. Like that's completely random.
I don't know
how to put that in my head.
Aye, I know.
Did they pick the right lottery numbers though? That would be magic.
Nah, it was our numbers. It wasn't a lot of the numbers though.
Nah, it wasn't
It wasn't
a
the
lot of
ones that
numbers.
came out. See, if it was more, that'd have been fucking amazing.
No.
That would have been proper amazing. But it was really good. I've never even thought of that during this lockdown. Something like that, you know. It's a good idea.
That's a great idea. It's really
That's a
good. It
good
really
idea.
works as well. I fuck knows how they do it. I guess they say it's the power of suggestion, don't they? Or Dan Brown does. That it's
Aye.
all suggestion.
It can't be
I
suggestion.
know.
but
I
man,
don't.
I don't even want to talk about it because my head is wasted. See, after I came off, I was like, how did he do that?
No, it's mental, man.
As
I
well,
don't know if
yeah.
you recorded it, but you should go back and if he's got like the
No.
numbers implanted in the background, you know, like he's can't see it, but
Aye.
it's there, you know.
Maybe these kids walking past with placards and we never even noticed it at the time.
Aye,
15.
it's class though. Thanks very much to Mr. Parker who got me that.
Aye, that
I
was
think they all
decent.
chipped in, I imagine, but
Well, they
Really
never
good.
gave me a sort code and account number to chip in, so
oh, you never chipped
just
in.
keep
aye.
that hush then. Just keep
Well,
that
whoever
hush.
paid for it,
I didn't
thanks
even know
very
what was
much.
happening.
I know.
But I've got some photos up for his birthday, some background photographs
Right,
for his birthday, just like his best shots throughout the years.
It's-
Where
it's
like
36
Spanko's This Is Your Life.
is 36 mid 30 or late 30s?
That's late, mate. That's fucking
Well,
late.
okay,
That's at least a
how
year
else are
late.
you going to answer that? You know what I mean?
But yeah, what'd you think of that one, Neil? The guy that day actually said that Mark was very photogenic, and to be fair, he is probably the most photogenic out of the lot of us. Bob was
Yeah,
still
looks pretty
raging
good,
when he said that. Looks
It's
good in
alright.
that one, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Looks fucking decent, and there's a wee smiley one.
Right.
You look about like Stephen Thompson.
The football player that wears the
Mm-hmm.
jeggings.
Aye, with that photo there, aye.
This one's a bit creepy.
That was, especially that size.
Look at the crow's feet, though.
Fuck's sake, man.
Look at the crow's feet, man. That's
look
what
as
they
if
call
you're-
filler.
It looks like you're wearing a wee bit of makeup there. Nice.
Stage makeup.
Wee bit of... What did they
No,
call
no,
that
I've just
stuff?
got long eyelashes.
And this one's from every single gig that's more than 1 hour away from Glasgow on the way home.
Yeah. Snoring. What the fuck?
And it's also
This will
been
be working
said,
well for folk that are just listening to this.
Aye, what wasn't it? Fuck them.
So we need to describe the photos. So that's basically Mark
Sleeping in the back of the old van.
chromatosed. Aye, his eyebrows have been shaved off. Somebody's got a swastika
That was
on
him.
his face.
And it's also been said that he looks a wee bit like Haley for Coronation Street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see it quite right, but there's definitely a resemblance to
Oh,
that
your
beard
chair has
away.
become my beard. It did.
That's weird, isn't it?
That's weird.
Hello. I know. That's This Is Your Life, Spanko.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, mate. Happy birthday.
Oh,
There's the main man there.
it's the man
There you
there.
go.
That's
And then the
John
other-
Paul, George and
one's
Ringo.
That one's for Paul Caulfield. See it? I have watched what you sent me, yes I have. This Is Your Life, Spanko. Just call me Michael Aspel.
Does this
You're
mean that
probably too young to remember him.
your life's over? If
That's
this
him,
is his
aye.
life, so that's
Basically.
It's an obituary.
Can I hear you, Spanks?
What's an obituary?
You're
What's
writing
it
your
called?
obituary.
No, what's it called? When it's somebody's died.
Obituary, yeah.
What did
Obituary.
you call it? Oh, don't tell her. What did you call it?
An obituary. Is that what
An
it's called? What is
obituary?
it called again? It's an
Oh.
obituary.
Obituary. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like oh bitch, oh bitch, oh bitch. They're giving it a bit of obituary. Anyway,
Nah.
so you were just as funny in 2021 as
the
2020.
comedy's flowing just as this is it usually is. Shall we move on to what we're getting
Yeah,
to know Neil then?
Lay it on me.
Right, hang
do it
on. Mind we've got.
Getting to know,
Neil,
getting to know all about,
Neil,
Again.
getting to like,
Neil,
getting to hope you like.
Neil.
Neil,
Ah.
where is the strangest place you've urinated and or defecated?
This is a trick question because if you defecate, you also urinate.
Aye. Well,
I could answer the urinating one.
Right.
Defecation, I've probably not done anything pretty weird with that one. but urinating in one of the this is gonna sound bizarre, but one of the stone circles in like was it Orkney or Shetland, one of those places, and it was pissing on top of two statues that were like on the like under the stones, like some dude with a stag head and some pregnant chick, and it was like some sort of like, I don't know, pagany thing that was going on, and the guy.
You were pissing in people?
No, not people. It was little statues that were made.
Oh, right.
Some offering for something. I don't know, whatever you do at Stone Circles, but it was left there as a whatever it is, probably a harvesty thing or something. I don't know. And the person that I was with had a real umbrage for like witches and people like that, so he said you should just piss on it. I was like, alright, so I did. That was it. That was the weirdest thing. I don't
Hang
know
on,
any other
two
explanation.
seconds. 2 seconds. Laura, is somebody getting shagged in that TV programme? Because I can hear it.
It's just porn, Mark.
Wait, it's what? Right, she's watching it. Can you turn it down a wee bit?
Turn
It'd be funny
it
if
up.
it was it'd be funny if
Turn
it was
it
a
up.
guy that said no.
I just feel zip no.
She's watching
It's not on the
Outlander.
telly.
She's watching Outlander. She's been watching it all
Oh,
day,
there's
every
lots
day
of sex in Outlander.
for like 4 days. That's the one your brother's in, aye. Aye, it's a fucking crazy show. It's about time travel and that. I didn't know that.
I've only watched
Aye.
about 4 episodes and I was like, nah, this is even too out there for me.
It's mental.
Yeah,
Kilts
it's really
and time
weird.
machines and that, nah, no thanks.
It's
Not
weird.
for me. I'm in season 7, episode 11 of the USA Office, and I only started it maybe about a month and a half ago
That's
again.
brilliant. That's addictive
They've
watching
They've
them.
got 24, 25 episodes in a season sometimes.
That's mental.
Mad, but that's really good.
What about anybody else? What's the strangest place you've done a piss? And on a
Used to shite myself quite a lot when I was younger.
Well, just
Aye.
standing there.
Are you talking about going back to like pissing when you're like a baby? Because there must be some strange places in, you know what I mean? Pissing about.
Just
No, I can
anywhere.
Everywhere you go, you're just pissing
This
and
is-
shitting.
No.
At the
But I
dinner
can
table and that. Aye.
But I can mind being out like, in a big bike ride when I was maybe about 7 or 8 and been too far away from the house and then touching cloth and then not getting back in time and like having to stand up and cycle and it's fucking falling out the bottom of your jeans, falling out the bottom of your
I
bell
remember
bottom
being
jeans.
a wee boy and we were playing. I can't remember the kid's name. It was my pal. I must have been about 7 or 8, and he was a bit younger. He was maybe only about 4 or something, and my brother was there as well. But we were playing about in the kind of, there's like a grassy section, or used to be. It's probably houses, and they had like a BMX track in it and as well. But it was almost like a bog type place, and it was quite close to my auntie's house, who was with at the time. And then I just remember him just stopping and his face like that, and he just started doing a shit right in front of us. It's like, I just remember him, it was all dead awkward. Just the kids like that. I'm like, oh, he's still very young, that boy. You realise he's basically still a baby because he's just done a shite where he was standing, basically.
I've also been caught short when I'm maybe first starting drinking in the streets and you have to bushwhack it. Have you ever bushwhacked it with the
is it,
socks off and that? Must have bushwhacked it. Aye, if you're maybe camping out up the woods and you've got to carry out, you're 10 mile for the nearest toilet, then you need to do a shite in the woods and wipe your ass with your socks. It's law. That's law. That's
What do you do with your
bushwhack law.
socks? Put wash
What
in
do you
the
do with
river.
your
thought you
socks? Wash them in the river. Wash them in the river then wear them as gloves the next day.
I thought you used leaves. I thought that was a famous thing. Like
Yeah.
people in the jungle and that use leaf.
It's fucking ringing. It's soaking and ringing. So nice warm socks. It's good.
Yeah.
That's law.
Why wouldn't you just like shit in the river, and that way you
Yeah,
can just
shit in
like
the
wash
river.
yourself at the same time? Just use your hand.
Think of the logistics of that. Think of the
You need
logistics of that.
to like be in the river and
You
shit.
would need to take your whole bottoms off to do that.
Aye, well,
Or your jeans would get absolutely soaking.
And covered in shit because the river
And
water
covered
would put the
shit.
shit into the jeans.
Aye. Depends what way the tide's going. So you would need to make sure you were going down tide. Shiting down tide. Nah, but I just things like that, really. No, just everybody does.
That's probably not even that strange. Man's been shitting in the woods for thousands of years. So
Fucking right.
if anything, that's shitting in a toilet's stranger than shitting in the woods, really, when you think about it.
I suppose it is, aye.
Here's a big porcelain bowl, go and shit in it. I watched a thing on the History Channel and it showed you toilets before they made more house-looking houses, if you like, you know, where it was more communal living and it was always just like 7 or 8, just be fucking arseholes for people to sit.
The toilets public
together?
toilets in China are still like just a hole in the ground. I've talked about this before, haven't I? Maybe not on this, but it's a toilet that's a hole in the floor. So it is like a ceramic Armitage Shanks hole in the ground.
Oof.
So because they like to squat when they're shitting, I think.
Well, it makes sense.
It's a done
it
thing.
Makes sense.
Apparently
makes
it's better
sense.
for you.
That
so they
makes
say.
sense, aye.
So it's a proper hole in it, but it's fucking so uncomfortable having it.
But with everybody as well.
Well, the guy certainly were anyway. And then a service station we stopped at, it was basically just a trough and you were basically sitting.
Was that in the A9? Aye.
In
was the house of
China,
brewer?
when I was in China, it was like, you know, the old barbecues you used to get, or maybe you still get, the red brick barbecues that you would build with cement and stuff. It was like, red brick walls about the size of a barbecue, and then just along next to each other and underneath it there'd be a flow of water going between them, and everyone would just be sitting and you could see each other's heads and you would just be shitting in this fucking flow of water.
That's fucking
horrible.
weird.
That's
That's
That's what
fucking weird.
the Romans used to do. I seen that
Aye,
programme
kinda like that.
weirdly about it just must have been about Rome, but it's that fishing guy. The boy does fishing. I just stumbled into it. It was on Channel 5 and he's walking the Hadrian's Wall and he's seeing like the Roman ruins and stuff. There's one of them in Strathclyde Park, like a Roman ruin, but the one that this guy was at, it was like a spa house and that, and it was showing you like the toilets, and it was just basically like a square room with like a ledge where everybody sat, and there must have been about like 15-20 holes that people sat on. So I'm guessing there was no partitions.
that.
It must just have been everybody sitting,
Yeah.
a bunch of people just sitting doing a shit.
So Neil, it was over a couple of statues. Sorry, what was that?
Aye, it was. I only later kind of found out it was obviously the guy was clearly had an umbrage towards that sort of thing. I mean, I don't even know what that sort of thing is. I had to look up what a person with a man's body. They were all naked, so it was like a naked man's body statue with a stag head, and it was sitting next to a pregnant woman, and it's something to do with fertility and like the passages of summer or so. I don't know. I'm talking bullshit right now because I have no idea. But it's
Where
that
was it
sort of-
again, mate? Sorry.
It was in one of the, like, it's either Orkney or Shetland. I've been to both,
Oh,
but they've
right.
got standing stones.
Aye, it sounds like the Wickery man
Aye,
kind of
Wickery
thing.
stuff.
isn't it?
Aye,
Right.
aye. Very much that sort of thing.
Where's the worst place you've shot, Spanks? You've shot everywhere. You've
I've
shot
seen
literally everywhere. And this week's episode of Mark's Bowels Habits begins.
Going to my mate's wedding in a field. Remember that shit?
aye.
My
You should get Laura on to tell that
God.
one. Side them
Oh,
all the way.
that was fucking hell. That was we kind of fell out because we wanted. My plan was to drive up very early in the morning at the Airbnb, then get changed and go. But there was a bit of miscommunication. She says that's not enough time for me to get ready and that. So I'm like, I booked it. So I ended up booking the place the night before. And then our pal that was looking after the dog turned up really fucking late. We were gigging that night. In fact, I'll start that because we had a gig that night and it was fish suppers instead of like a buffet. So I'd already had my dinner and then I had a fish supper as well. So I was like fucking 2 dinners basically. 2 dinners.
You can have a cup of coffee with it.
I know,
visiting
right?
the
So it was
toilet.
that, and then they finished the gig. I got home about 12 o'clock, and Laura's pal hadn't turned up for the dog, and we couldn't get a hold of her on the phone. And I had a 2.5 hour drive down to the borders, basically. And she turned up eventually, and then me and Laura fell out. It wasn't going that well. And then Google Maps did its thing where I just put in the first one, didn't really check it, because you should really take a main road down and then take a left from wherever the fuck it was. But instead, Google Maps takes you on this mad, like, through the woods, single track road thing, and it was really dark, and it was November, and it was really fucking foggy, and we were getting seriously fucking lost, and just couldn't see, like, 2 foot in front of you. Putting the full beams on was worse, because it makes the fog worse kind of thing, so ages and ages, and I'm, like, stressed out, and she's greeting because she's a bit scared and that, because we thought we're fucked here, we're going to get caught out, and I was really starting to burst for a shit. I mean, really, really bad. And then we managed to get to a clearing back to normal road. You know what it's like after ages, like an hour of being on a single track, and it's that relief. Oh, brilliant! And we're only like 20 minutes away from the place, but I'm like, or half an hour or whatever. I'm like, I have to shit now. I'm sorry, I had to shit. So I stopped on like a 60 mile an hour road. Stopped, jumped. Luckily we had a pack of tissues with us. To the side. It was basically a hedgerow off a main road, and then it was a field on the left hand side, and I was just like, and it was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I still had my jeans on, and that was still like half standing up, and then Laura was like fucking laughing her fucking head off, like, so much. She's like, I was greeting 2 minutes ago, and now I cannot stop laughing. She was like, could not believe it, and that. And I managed to clean myself off, I think, and then as soon as we got to the Airbnb, like, just showered myself down and that, man. It was terrible. That was on the way to Johnny's wedding.
So did you leave all the used tissues for the farmer to find, or did you take them home with you?
I left. That was a fucking mess. It was left. Somebody's going to be driving past that in their tractor a few hours later going, oh, come on. No, again. Fucking hell.
They probably used it to spray the fields.
So that's probably the weirdest place I've shot, I think, like in the side of a field, which is, I mean, there was just more unfortunate circumstance.
Does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit? Does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit? Does somebody not know how to flush a toilet after they've had a shit? What do you mean? Well, there's fucking one of yous. Disgusting!
Question 2, Neil. Which body part do you wish you could detach, and why?
Can I reattach it?
Yeah. Not just get rid of. Not just get rid of.
Probably my arms, like the whole arm, because I could do loads of, I don't know, funny things with it. You know, put it over people or hit people with it. I think it'd be quite a good implement. Yeah, probably my arms, because I use them all the time. I guess maybe I could extended reach and something. You know, I could. Like,
I can't reach that.
With another arm, yeah, just take it off.
Aye. But then you wouldn't get the grip, would you? You just have a flappy.
Oh no, but I mean, it may still work. Why wouldn't it still work if I can attach it and reattach it? I don't know. Yeah, okay, but my arms probably still. Aye.
Fair enough.
It's a shame that they don't still work. But you would imagine if you can reattach them, surely
they're still connected somehow.
They should still work, aye. So
if that's the case, then definitely my arms. Definitely.
So your arms,
yep,
if you could still use them.
Yep.
I've got a mate with one arm, wee Tarzan. Can tie his shoelaces and everything. It's amazing to see. Watching somebody with one arm do that kind of stuff.
I'd love to see him swinging a tree with one arm. That'd be good.
How does he drive?
So basically the right arm is prosthetic and it's shaped like that. Luckily for him, in more ways than one.
And he puts that in the steering wheel.
Do they size that perfectly for what he needs it for? Like the grip on these?
I think it's flexible, so I think it's I think it's like that, and you can grip almost if you like, push it through and it would. So that kind of thing.
Has he got a bit of a kind of stamp, or is it like flush?
It's from there.
So you can kind of move there.
I still got
Alright.
something that you can use to power the prosthetic arm.
You said you can roll a joint like that.
Can roll a joint and drive the car at the same time. And he just gets it into fifth gear in the motorway and then just puts it on his leg. Is it on his leg? It's amazing to see, like. Amazing to see. What a guy Tarzan is.
Do the rest of us want to answer this?
Body part. My eye. I'd like to be able to take my eye out.
And put it
I used
over.
to-
Aye.
I used to work in a pub in Kirlook, and there was an old guy called Willie Forgay who had a glass eye, and he used to walk past people. It was like somebody would come in, maybe a stranger or something like that, doesn't really know him, he's a local character, and he would sit and talk about him, and then he would like get up and go to the toilet, and he'd take his eye out and put it in his pint and go, keep an eye on that for us, will you? Football like, fucking hell. So aye,
That'd
that
be
kind of
handy
shit.
if they're like being able to see over walls and that as well.
Aye, that's what I was saying.
Aye.
Just prick it. And,
I was just say that. Sorry.
well, I was trying to get to that. Aye.
Tape it to the end of a brush, hold it over walls and things like that.
So that still works as well then, via Bluetooth or sort of Wi-Fi. Or something.
Bluetooth, aye, that'll happen soon.
Wi-Fi.
Aye, Wi-Fi. Connect to the Wi-Fi.
I would like to detach this belly and throw it in the fucking bin.
Are you still not doing your Pilates?
Aye. Well, fill my rings today as well. There we go.
You fill your rings again?
Aye, fill my.
Nice one. We've
Apple
got to say
Watch.
that again. 3 minutes for move or something like that.
No, half an hour vigorous exercise and like move is like 300 kilocalories, but I've smashed that a day, nearly at 6. When I walked down to Celtic Park today and then back.
Did you?
Aye.
Well, that's about half a mile.
And did ruin Tesco then back up, so it was the big long.
That's about
big
half a
hoop.
mile and then 100 metres.
Aye. Merv, I need body detachments.
The only one that's I'm thinking is my mind. I would detach my mind.
That to have a rest.
Parts of it
Aye.
or just the whole?
Well, it depends. I suppose the mind is a concept in a sense, but
Holy
I would
fuck,
know
this
what it
is
is
deep.
as well in a sense. But I would probably, at the end of the day, I think a lot of people would do that. Detach your mind. I suppose that is what you do anyway, don't you? When you go to sleep. But that's maybe we already do that. Detach your minds every day.
It's quite meta, man.
It's a bit deep, aye.
Do you mean you don't mean your brain? Like,
Well, I suppose that is the sort of that is what your mind is your brain. I think that's what it is.
but
It's like-
see if you could like, so say this is like
so take your
1,000 years from
brain
now,
out of
and we can detach parts and stuff because we put half machine. Would you put it on like a charger overnight, like you do your phone or something,
maybe that's how it will be.
and it could learn
Yeah.
shit? Like you could maybe pay
Mm-hmm.
a couple of quid, or it might be like £2,000 in 1,000 years.
Just get like an update.
An
Just
update,
update
aye.
it overnight.
Aye, but you could pay for like,
Get like new filters and that in it.
but you could pay for courses and stuff to just be installed. So you, all of a sudden you know how to fucking make sushi the next day. You know what I mean? Like a chef.
That'd be
But
quite
it would
cool,
cost you
aye.
more. It would cost you more. Like the more advanced skill.
So you just buy a mind. So you need to buy like instead.
It'd be like a
instead of,
full
like,
school set. Instead of like going to university, you would just have to do your work, and then pay off the next fucking module that gets installed in your brain.
So you maybe have to like update with your body parts, because technically wouldn't that be like you to turn something to digital? I guess maybe you have to like replace your actual analogy brain with a digital brain. But you
I
can't do
know.
that.
Well, there would be. I've been playing too
I think
much.
it need to be digital, it'd be fucking downloading shit and charging it at night, mate.
I've been playing too much Cyberpunk, and they have a thing called a shard, which is a wee, just like the Matrix type thing, is a wee hole in your brain that connects. You just put the USB stick goes in there, and then they can fucking do shit. So imagine that you could just either take your brain out, then it
You'd have to
overnight.
get past your skull
And
first.
then, and then go fucking. Well, you'd need to have your brain in, and then say this is the update I want, and then take the brain out, or just stick a cable in. It's connected to the wall.
they're like a fire and you need to get up for you.
No, there'll be safety protocols and that. Like,
you don't put your brain in. You need to run out with no brain. You've been sitting up there next to your bed.
Slap brains off here! I'll need to get back!
This is becoming like Futurama, where they keep all
I
the
know.
heads in those cases.
Quite like the idea of that though. Just download the knowledge.
Downloading fucking skills and shit. Just
Aye, that'd be class.
But then
can
would
do it
only
now.
all be as good as. Surely creativity would just be gone, because then it would just be. It would just be the
Aye.
like the next update would be the better one. Like,
Yeah.
Suppose,
And
aye.
then you're on the same level.
Oh, it would be
Aye.
genocide, man. Genocide.
That's a good way to look at it.
It'd be over. The world would be useless. Absolutely useless after that.
Would be.
No, it would just be it'd be like replacing actual physical learning just for.
Aye, but
I mean-
what's the point of learning if you know how to do everything?
Well, you can't because it costs too much to like certain like a degree would cost you like fucking thousands, so you pay it over time. So like you know how
See,
you
he's
do like a
capitalist.
module.
You're a
That sounds
capitalist,
good,
man, you
man.
know what I mean?
You'd
It's still
still
the
be-
capitalists that run the
Well, that's
fucking
how they
world.
already
you know what I
sell
mean?
stuff online, like
Yeah,
courses
yeah.
and stuff. They sell courses, so instead of you having to sit and fucking do it, you would save up enough money to buy that module. I've got that module, and I know that bit now. And then you would get better at your work, and then you'd save up more money, or your boss would give you some more for fucking getting a promotion. Oh, you know what I mean? And it'd be like a
Credits.
level up system. Aye, this guy's a fucking genius. He's worth billions. Do you know what I mean? He's learning everything.
You're definitely that guy that's got the beard that sits at the top of the Hunger Games thing, and we're all those reprobates that get like eating each other
Aye.
to try and stay alive.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I know if it got like mad capitalist, then you could like outlaw traditional learning and stuff like that. Anyone for like books would be outlawed and shit like that. It's a good book here somewhere. Mhm.
Got a feeling it's
Sounds
been
like a
done
movie.
before this.
It's the sort of stuff like it.
Aye.
Well, that Gattaca is about emotions. They get rid of emotions, so
I've seen
things
that.
like music and books and stuff like that become illegal because everyone's
Aye.
completely emotionless.
Oh,
Film
just
Gattaca.
talking about films with emotions, I watched your previous listeners to our previous shows, or existing listeners to our previous episodes, I should say. I'll note that you stated that your favourite film of all time was Inside Out.
One of them, aye. Probably
No,
right up there.
Definitely said that was your definite favourite.
Ah,
but-
probably, aye.
So I watched that, it's pretty good, aye. It's
fucking
quite a
brilliant.
good concept for a film, aye.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
It's a similar type thing, it's about emotions and obviously simplistic level, but
Or
Really
is it?
cool.
well,
It's a-
That's it.
exactly, Neil.
Really
That's
cool.
the
Great
quantum
movie.
realm.
Brilliant move.
What is the most embarrassing thing you have ever worn, Neil?
I remember trying to do. I think it was like a Halloween costume thing, and the costume definitely said 100% Aladdin, and I went as Aladdin, and it gave me this like crop top thing. It came with a monkey, so I put the monkey and you strap it to your shoulder. But
Oh shit! Sorry.
but did you ever?
Aye, whoops.
And I ended up
That's bad.
looking more like Jasmine. So for the whole night, everyone kept saying, "Oh, you're Princess Jasmine." I was like, "There's a monkey on my shoulder. I'm clearly Aladdin." But it
There's a
doesn't
monkey on
matter.
my shoulder.
But
Get
it didn't matter. But it didn't matter. So I actually I'm not very embarrassed at all. I don't get embarrassed much. I don't know. And for some reason, my thing was every Halloween was always a kind of woman I quite like to be, which is maybe saying something too much.
Do you like a bit of the cross dressing, mate?
No, crush just in Halloween for some reason. I don't know. But I've been Little Bo Peep. I've been the Little Mermaid. I've been
What for playing the drums? The mermaid outfit.
I've been all sorts.
Was it like trousers that you?
I think
you
I
would put
just
your
like
legs
having
together?
breasts. I love
I
wearing
like having breasts.
yeah, because I like to get those gel ones, you know, so it kind of feels like I thought it's really weird. This is bizarre. I don't even. I clearly had a bit too much wine now. I don't cross dress. I don't enjoy cross dressing. I think the concept's a bit bizarre.
Getting to know Neil has went too far.
But
we,
I guess
we know too much now.
I don't know. I could be feminine. I guess I've got emotions.
Aye,
I like things.
aye.
I like
Do you
nice
wear the
things.
tights and all that?
The fishnets and all that. No, I couldn't. I've got a black man's bum, so I can hardly wear things.
Where did you nick that from?
I'm weirdly proportioned, so like I can't. I mean, I can't shop in Topshop or all these places because they just don't fit.
Well, you
my
can't
weird
shop in
dimensions.
there anymore, that's for sure.
Oh, I definitely
No,
can't shop.
Not now.
But even that extra large was like skinny man size. Everything was skinny. I'm just not a skinny guy, so it's sort of.
It's strange way of just when you're mentioning Aladdin and people thought you were the princess, but you were Aladdin. Surely you would make a better genie.
Aye,
Anyway,
aye, definitely.
I could imagine you
Robin
just
Williams
being
style.
like,
If I could
just
get the
paint yourself
costume,
blue and
I totally
be
would
the
have.
genie.
But I was trying to
Definitely.
just be really cheap and cheerful, and whatever was left. I usually leave everything at the last minute, so it was whatever was left in the costume shop. So
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn, Spanks?
You wearing it?
I don't know.
Take your time, mate. We're here all week.
I don't fucking get it. Honestly, that's a tough one.
I know it's only February. It's only the 1st of February. So another year ago.
I don't know. A box of a Beck's box in my head.
Aye.
Kidding that on, I was
Classic.
Jeff
Actually,
Beck.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Beck.
Jeff Beck, baby. I'm trying to think of like fancy dress and that, but I can't really think. I remember some fucked up shit from my mates in Carnoustie. One went as Michael Jackson once, and you think, right, fair enough, but he probably can't keep us in. But he took like he was dressed up as Michael Jackson, but then he taped a baby
back.
to his crotch. Aye, so that was a bit fucked up.
Wah!
Not a real baby, a toy, obviously.
that makes it better.
Aye, no,
That's okay.
aye,
That's
fucked up.
okay. See, I was
Clothes.
fucking probably 13 up to I was 19. All I wore was embarrassing clothes. It was a 90s rave scene. I can remember having a bright peach, massive baggy jumpsuit. And I think it said jump in different colours down the leg and down the arm. And it was fucking horrendous. But see, back then I loved it. Absolutely
I
loved
was
it.
going to
The
say, you
baggiest
probably
thing I've
didn't
ever
feel
seen.
embarrassed though.
I didn't. Do you know what I done though? I was dogging the school, and my school was surrounded in woods, and we had it on, and I get spotted because I was in the woods, and they're all like, "Look at that fucking massive big peach over there." That's David Swan's jumpsuit. Know what I mean?
I've made
So
some
aye.
questionable clothing choices, certainly, especially in my early 20s, definitely. But like just ridiculous shit, but nothing that springs to mind. Mel, have you ever worn anything you shouldn't be wearing?
I am sure I've got plenty of stuff that I would say is embarrassing, but the thing that I was thinking there, I've probably told you before, but I don't think I mentioned it in this, but when I was a young child, my mum used to make me wear a balaclava every day in the winter to school. So just like there was literally no other kids in the school wearing balaclavas, it was just me. And for some reason, I used to keep wearing it. You know, she's like, you need to wear it each time. It's like
Even in class,
but you in the class.
sitting there like, "Is this fucking Wayne? That's Jerry Adams' boy."
But just like when lunch times and stuff, at the time you're out of the building, even though like realistically I should have known that I could have ditched it at the points, I used to wear it. So that was quite embarrassing, just being the only guy in school
Or balaclava?
wearing a balaclava, aye.
That's mental.
Bonus question. I've seen that I basically, I mean, I didn't put in too much effort this week. I just kind of went, what's weird questions to ask folk, and as you can see, that's been what's happened. Neil, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant?
4.
This is only for you.
Logically, I'm thinking one, considering an elephant's not a carnivore or carnivorous beast. So
What?
Probably,
No, how many chickens
Gerald
would it take
just-
to kill an elephant?
Oh, to kill an elephant?
Aye.
Aye, one, if it tried to eat it.
What? One chicken could kill an elephant?
Aye, because it's a herbivore, so it would just die.
Mm.
It'd be like poisoned or something by the chicken, or I don't know, it would choke, or
It would just store on it.
What? Oh, right. So if the elephant tried to eat the chicken.
Yeah,
Oh, right. I was like, how's a chicken going to eat an elephant? Right, okay. That took
Oh,
me
You
back.
just said
choked on a
kill.
chicken.
If you said eat, then it's different. How many chickens would you eat? I don't know. But if
So-
it was to...
Right. I mean, I think it's obviously gone for like a cartoon style fight.
Oh,
Between, like,
so if
how
it was-
many chickens
if it was
would
a
it take?
chicken...
Like an army.
I'm still going to go with one. I've got
This
chickens.
is one tough fuck chicken.
I got chickens and they are evil fuckers. So it would definitely. As far as I can tell, elephants are quite gentle giants.
And they're scared of things, aren't they? They're scared of like mice and shit.
Things smaller than them. Whatever. So I would just peck it till it was dead, or run it off a cliff or something. I think.
Could a chicken's wee beak get through that skin? Know what I mean?
I don't know actually. Yeah, maybe not.
Be a while.
Maybe take the eye out first and then just work its way.
I was thinking it could maybe go arsehole to earhole, so it could just start at its arsehole and then cut its way down to the earhole, and then all the elephant's guts would just fall out. Chicken's a winner. So one chicken, Neil's right enough.
What one chicken?
Proven.
Some people would say that. Some people would say that you need to be a chicken to kill an elephant.
That's quite deep.
Aye, it's a safari shit.
Aye, so
Aye,
obviously
safari.
if you're somebody with a gun killing an elephant, it's like a chicken, because obviously if
A
they've done
coward.
it,
You mean?
like cowardly,
aye.
in that sense, aye. So that would be one again.
That's quite deep.
One chicken.
Nobody
Yeah.
calls
I
me
like
chicken.
I like that. Emily, got anything else to add? Anything weird before we move on to the next session?
Well, salmonella is the other thing.
I could just wait until it's dead.
Oh, fuck aye, yeah.
Bird flu.
But the chicken would have to give part of itself for the elephant to eat to then wait for salmonella. Is that not how it works? Does he have to-
Aye, so you mean so we need to like wait till the sell-by date goes, leave it in the fridge, leave it in the fridge too long, and then like, make it,
Don't
and
cook
leave
it.
leftovers, and then
It's a
don't
real
put it in the
long
microwave
con
or
for
anything.
this chicken. It's already dead. It's just its legacy.
What came first, the lighter or the match?
The
Must
match.
be the match, yeah.
Obviously.
Surely.
Lighter.
No, it didn't.
Is it?
eh?
Fucking
What do you
did.
mean?
Look it up.
Your
You know
boss.
what I mean? I've just got a fucking page here with hundreds of facts on it, and it says number 12. The cigarette lighter was invented before the match.
How?
What?
Ah.
Before kick-off.
There you go. Did you know that Leonardo da Vinci invented scissors?
That's very interesting. It sounds like potentially no right, but aye, that's interesting.
I've already said that.
Why do you doubt that, Spanks?
What?
Why do you doubt that?
Well, check it
Sound
out,
like a
Spence. Get
steamboat
googling. Get googling if you can if you
No.
can prove it to me.
I believe
If you
you.
can prove
If
it
you've
to-
said it, it must
No,
be
you
true.
clearly don't.
Like, the thing was, there's facts that I've heard on this podcast that I would definitely question more than that. Like, it's funny that's the. I mean, Leonardo da Vinci inventing the scissors seems like
Aye, fair
plausible
enough.
to me, but you seem to be like flabbergasted at that.
I know.
What
Why
else you
so?
got?
Why so? Did he not cut his ear off? That's Van Gogh.
That's
wasn't
Van
it?
Gogh.
That would have been good. He invented the scissors and then cut his ear off. Shut up, Dubs! Ken hell.
Well,
Listen to her
shit.
telling him. Shut up!
What else you got there, Swanee, in terms of facts?
No, I'm not telling you any fucking more. You don't believe any of my facts. So
No, it's just,
stick it up your
it's not
fucking
you.
ass.
It's not you for your fact. It's just
That is my fact. I've made it a fact by announcing it on the podcast, and you've doubted my fact.
sorry.
So, did you know that an average of 100 people choke to death in ballpoint pens every year?
Could believe that.
well, you see people fucking
That's
chewing
getting
them
your
all the
COVID
time.
figures, ladies and gentlemen. We'll need to lock down soon because cunts are eating pens. Know what I mean?
Well, why people are always chewing them and that, aren't they? So it's maybe
Aye.
the lid, the wee chewable lid.
But
Surely,
surely I wouldn't block your air pipe.
Could do. Well, if it
Your air
goes
pipe's
down,
that.
if it goes down horizontally, it could do.
there's probably a fact that people chew their pens more than write with them.
Are they
Aye.
No, I
choking?
certainly chew them more than.
Are they choking on a bit of the pen? I mean, surely if the pen started going in your mouth, you'd realise there's a pen going in my
pull
mouth.
this half of this pen back out.
You know what I mean?
It just says an average of 100 people choke to death on ballpoint pens every year. It doesn't tell me how they do it, what the circumstances are in each case, what the forensics were, but that's what they're saying, guys. So
I could believe that. I could fucking believe it.
But
What a
believe that, you
shit
can't
way to
believe-
go. What a shit way to go. Oh, Karen, it's Keith. He's dead. Oh my God. What, was he not well? No, it was sudden. What happened to him? He choked on a fucking pen. I can't believe it.
no, you also get lead poisoning, so I guess that's pencils.
that would be pencils, aye. Toxic houseplants poison more children than household chemicals do.
Wow.
That's quite dark. isn't
That's
it?
horrible. Unlucky.
And here's one for us all that we've just been discussing. According to Genesis 1:20-22, the chicken came before the egg.
Is that right? It's in the Bible.
But it says here, Melf.
Must be fact.
In owlcation, what's it called? Owlcation.com or something. So there you go.
There we go.
Very interesting.
That fact especially was very interesting. But
Aye.
that's what they say. The chicken came before the egg.
Apparently it's in the Bible, so that must be true enough, because there's not a lie in that book. Did you know babies were born without kneecaps?
No.
No, I didn't know
They
that.
appear between the age of 2 and 6.
Is that right?
What?
Yeah.
That's a bit.
and
That's quite a big.
No.
Don't they crawl
Between
before
2 and
that
6.
though? Like, are they crawling on like their shin bone?
It's cartilage, mate. Just cartilage.
You don't have a
Just
kneecap till you're... Between two and six.
Right. So you what, on the day before your second birthday, you go to bed and then you wake up the next day and you've got a pair of kneecaps. You're like, oh, fucking belter it up.
Fucking
Well, I can do with these. And then
can,
you become 40 and you need to get the whole thing replaced because it's fucked.
Just seems like a flaw. Like you don't really need them. If you can survive for 2 years without them, why would you need them? Like after that?
Exactly. Well, I think because they're not upright and walking a lot at that point, they probably don't need them. I would say maybe that's why.
Develop them.
Did you know that wearing headphones for just 1 hour will increase the bacteria in your ear by 700 times?
fucking
I wear
hell.
these
I wear headphones
24
lot,
hours a
eh?
day, 7 days a week.
Aye.
I wear see since lockdown. I wear headphones.
All the time.
Like 3 or 4 different sets of headphones,
Aye.
including these. Like
Me too,
constantly.
Nev.
Aye.
Aye,
I never really
me
thought
too.
about that till you said that.
Fucking AirPods get minging, don't they, man? Buff. You get
Well,
really
remember
got
I had that labyrinthitis? I'm convinced that was doing it. That was the horriblest thing I've ever had in my life.
it. Was
man.
that
Every
after the
time I wa-
AirPods?
Well, no, it was, well, I don't know what it was, but it's not an infection, that apparently. It's just the crystals in your earlobe come detached and move about there, the stuff that makes you balance.
Yeah.
And every time when I done that, the whole room went.
That sounds like
Feels like
honestly the worst thing in the
vertigo.
world to hate that.
Is that vertigo you got?
Similar.
That's what it's called, benign paroxysmal something or other.
Horrendous.
Can't mind the full term for it, but it's vertigo, basically vertigo.
Did
It's
you have to get-
positional vertigo, so it's because you move and the crystals move, then you get the room zooms. But it's horrific.
I would hate
You do
that.
the Epley manoeuvre and all that. You know that whole thing in the end of the bed.
Yes,
thing?
done well. There's 4 or 5 different named manoeuvres, but basically they're all centred around. You lie on a bed, you turn your head the opposite way, and then you slam your body down dead quick that way. So you're basically trying to release the crystals that are loose, making you, and see once you do that the first couple of times, Neil, like you turn that way and then you slam yourself down to the other way, the world moves, man. No, the room, the fucking world goes like that, and you need to lie there and let that pass for ages and ages, and then you feel dead sick with that, and you get up and you have to do it the other way, and then it's just, you just do it. And it took a good month for me to stop being fully dizzy, you know. It wears off quite quick, but it took a good month or so to get rid of it.
Stuff like that makes you feel so fragile being a human, doesn't it? It's just like,
See, when I had that, man, I was like, you can just take me out now, because if this is the way this has got to be forever, I'm fucking out of here, man.
oh man.
I'm not having this for a carry on. Oh, it was terrible. Take any kind of pain in that, but that was brutal. Absolutely brutal. Just moaning about afflictions now. Great listening on it. I've got piles too.
Have you got piles? Piles of what?
Piles of fucking sense compared to you.
Right.
Sitting on pavements, that's what causes piles, apparently. That's
Okay, is that not an old
that's the
wives'
urban
tale?
legend.
Being a drummer, apparently, so many drummers
right?
get piles. Aye, like, it's quite a common thing. And I was actually quite scared of getting it because of the amount of gigging that I did. It was constantly sitting on the. But thankfully, I got nice, comfy ones. It's if you sit in those really hard things. That's partly why. Because most drummers don't actually sit on a seat. They sort of sit,
on the
and
edge.
their ring is literally like holding them up on their seat. So it's literally
Right.
the bit that's keeping them. So they kind of
Oh.
get a lot of compression and stuff. Aye.
Oh,
I've had to look into it because that was sort of my kind of profession. But
Jesus.
it's like it's something stupid like 67% of all drummers have piles.
67%.
Yeah, it's a huge.
That's
It's
mental.
pretty bad. Because when I went to get checked out because I thought I had them, and then when I got checked with a finger up the bum by a really long-fingered Irishman, I didn't
The GP, aye. Was he a
GP, aye.
That was a leprechaun, mate. He just met the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
The
and she's
biggest
like, come here,
handed
you.
leprechaun. I mean, he was a nice
He's
guy.
like for his
I didn't,
pot of gold.
I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, but I had something different because it was a problem. I ate something that was sharp.
Drummers
basically.
fart a lot. I've noticed that. Drummers fart a lot. Tam farted a lot. Do you fart a lot, Neil?
I'm not that gassy, to be fair.
Nah.
Not particularly. I don't think.
Saunders liked to fart. Remember him liking to fart. Shout out Saunders, the farter.
He might be sitting on his seat wrong then because he might compressing himself too much and it's sort of squeezing
Probably.
out all the time.
Aye, probably. He'll be doing something like that,
Oh,
definitely.
while they're playing, like, brr.
It's literally where you sit. If you just slide your ass on the seat now, just a little bit in front, so the edge of it, it's almost just before
Aye,
your
and all
tailbone
the
hits
pressure's
it.
going right up
All
your
the pressure's literally on your rectum.
On your
Aye.
rectum.
Did you hear Spanko the way Spanko said that there? All the pressure.
Don't do it too much.
Oh, I don't like. Oh, I need to
you'll
try that.
need to go. Aye, and then play, and you're constantly like up and down.
Aye,
and
and up
playing.
and down,
Aye,
aye.
it's
Makes
pretty-
sense after time. It's going to
Pretty, aye.
wear the hoop out, innit? Know what I mean?
You think it gets stronger, it's like training, but no, it's not. It's just it just lets everything fall out.
Jesus.
Would you rather have feet or a basketball? Would you rather have teeth or a house to call your own? Let's have a game, or would you rather? Would you rather?
That makes absolutely no sense. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Now, your second favourite section of the night. Would you rather, Neil? You're the guest tonight, I suppose, or you're the main man tonight. Would you rather have the ability to read minds or predict the future?
Probably read minds, because if I could read minds, it's technically predicting the future. Is that not right?
Aye, aye.
Because if I could read your mind, I could tell you what you were about to do, and that way, technically, I'm about to sort of predict what you're about to do, and then that would save me from whatever. So, I read minds, definitely.
I think you're right. It's kind of both in the same.
Yeah.
But I'd like to predict the future and get a few coupons up.
Two coupons up, exactly, aye. That's what I was saying a lot about that Outlander. When's it going to get to the point where the woman that's gone back in time can bet? She'll be able to bet.
When's she going to find an almanac?
That's so
Almanac.
funny that when I watched it Back to the Future, that's all I was thinking about. And then when he actually did the whole gambling thing, I was like, that's what I would have done. I would have
Yeah.
totally went back and
That's
I would have
what
just
I
made
would
some
do.
money or something. It's bizarre, isn't it?
Fucking right. Keep your hoverboards. Doing an almanac.
But I
Definitely.
believe that you can get banned from certain.
You can get banned out the bookies for time
You
travel.
can get banned.
I seen you in 2045.
McFly, fuck off, get out. No chance you bet. You can get barred off bookies for like winning too much and shit like that.
Aye, I've been barred off a bookie. I get barred off a bookie.
winning?
When I won a few quid and they were saying it was actually poker. It was like a poker site through a bookies. Can't mind what one it was. It may have been Wally Hills or some. But they accused me, and this was no true. But they
Being a
accused
time traveller.
no. Apparently, Apparently,
Got a futuristic cigarette there. He's coming for the future.
apparently thinking, yeah, there's a thing called passing or something, passing hands. So like, if you're in poker, you can be in with a mate and I'll just fold all my hands no matter how good they are, so he collects all the money or something along those lines. And I was like, I wasn't doing any of that.
Oh, to get in with your mate to your...
Aye, something along those lines. It was that long ago, I can't mind, but I get burned off.
And then split the... right.
Aye, I don't know. Don't know what the script is. Like, you were passing your pot to him, so he would have more an advantage over the rest of the 8 players at the table.
And that
Or
wasn't
something
true.
along those lines. That wasn't true, no. But do you know what I did see? I was very interested in with the bookies stuff. You know how obviously nowadays it's all apps, right? And it's literally you can bet on the next shot in snooker, the next point on a tennis game. You know, literally instant betting on every point of the game, kind of thing. Well, there's a thing that people go to the games and they try, and so the bookies send people out to the games, and as soon as Federer wins at point, they need to obviously stop that. So there's guys that go around the world with the apps and they try and get the bet on to somebody back home just before the guy at the game gets the bet off, if you like. There's a documentary about it, it's absolutely amazing. So he sits at the game and the guy's at home on the computer typing his, keeping all the stuff up, and he's going, next point to whoever, and he's going, and he just goes, yes, and then he shoves a tenner on it and it comes back, he's won it, and he goes, no, and they don't bet it. So they need to get in just before the bookie stops the bet, so they're trying to beat the real time of the human interaction. So it's a race between the bookie and the gambler. Fucking amazing. The guys were winning thousands and the bookies were catching on to it because it's dead unusual betting, somebody like firing loads of money on it because they were putting $1,000 on a point in tennis because they knew they were going to win if the guy
So
went,
do the
yes.
bookies need representations at the actual game?
Aye, well, there was a bit about that they had, they regulated it a bit, so they had to have people there so they could get it quicker, so that they could get their end shut off quicker than the other guys. So it's mental because these guys had invested in like high tech, fucking walkie-talkies or whatever you want to call them, but been able to speak really rapidly with each other, a person back doing the betting. So it was fucking dead interesting because there are a few of them that were barred out because they used to actually just take the phone in and do it in there in the game themselves with the app, but because they cottoned onto that, they had to get the comms and say to the guy, yes, bet it now, and he would bet it, and then
that sounds really badly addictive.
Imagine, but see the buzz the guy was getting.
I can imagine.
I think the example was he would start off with 50 quid, and he ended up he was putting like £1,500 on one shot of tennis. But he knew that if that went through, it was definitely won anyway because it was after the fact. And they were walking away with tens of thousands of pounds, man, after a game of tennis. Jeez. I was like, I need to do this. But I dare say the bookies and all that will have probably got to a technology point where they can completely wipe their options out with that. But it was only literally last year I seen that, so it was a recent thing. That's class. It's good, isn't it?
Well, now it's shagged in it because you can't really do much. On much. Well.
Banger. Oh, shit.
Got to batter through these bangers or sense.
Yes.
Neil Diamond. Hands. Touching hands.
From the amount of stuff that I know I have to do at weddings of Neil Diamond, but I guess he's a saint, isn't he? Because of, I don't know. I have embarrassingly know nothing about him. Like I get
I know he's
general,
American and he's
I get that he's an American Jew or something like that, but that's as far as it goes. So
he's racing Creed, so that's a good start.
I'll say saint because if I say banger, you're probably gonna.
No, Neil, don't deal with this. Don't deal with it that way. Don't go, I'm going to say something just so they don't give their heads. That's the funny bit about it, so we can give their heads.
Well, it's clearly a banger then, because if you're gonna sing about stars and all that other stuff, then aye.
But you asking me, Spanks?
What's the money one?
Money fucking
talks,
Forever in Blue Jeans. Money talks, but you can sing and dance and you can't walk.
Every fucking shite do. that we've played that.
Aye.
That comes on.
We've had some bad people on this list. I don't have the list in
You
front
should
of
get
me,
the
but I'm
pictures
sure
of the people
we've
we're
got
doing.
some,
Actually,
we've got some
That's a
murderers
good
and some real bad people. I don't know if we've had Hitler or whatever, but see all those people. Neil Diamond is the biggest banger of all those bangers. I cannot stand the guy's music. The thing, and it's not even because it's like offensive or like shite or that, which it is shite, but there's loads of shite music, but it's just so bland. It's so fucking bland. It's just so like. Well, you're saying what's the name of that tune?
Scarf
Money?
offence, Mel.
That's what it is.
I know,
That's
see
what
what
it
you
is.
mean,
It's called
mate.
Money. It's called Money probably because it just says what random words.
No,
and
it's
then,
called blue jeans. Aye,
Forever
okay.
in blue jeans, yeah.
turd.
I think he's so overrated, Neil Diamond. But I know people like him, so
Catchy.
I know that's probably half our sort of
Client base.
audience's client base's favourite artist. But I don't understand it. I just don't understand the attraction. I don't know what it is, and it's not even since starting playing it in the band. I don't know. I just used to always just find it so
Shite.
just basic. I don't know. That's what young people say, don't they? Basic.
Aye, but it's catchy. I mean, it's you.
It's not. Is it catchy?
Aye, I don't mean that in a
It's-
positive
is it?
way.
Fuck.
Well,
So
aye.
how's it catchy? It's so fucking middle of the road, vanilla.
But you think catchy is quite a positive thing. When I say catchy, I don't mean that I like it. I just mean catchy as in you remember that song, tune that gets stuck in your head. You've caught it. Money
No.
talks. Bum, 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 bum. You know, it's stuck in my head.
I think it's even the name Neil Diamond. It's like to me, it just says like 70s
Aye, magician.
Is that his actual
magician.
name?
Aye,
Is that his full name?
I don't
I
know.
think.
Probably not.
Don't know. I'm not sure if that's his real name and all that.
But I don't. It just to recap, I would say bang.
In case you didn't get that.
Spanks.
But Neil Diamond, banger, big banger. Aye, his tunes are shite. So a banger for me. And I'm sick of that tune. so.
I'm going to say Saint. He gets the pub going. Gun yourself, Neil. God bless you. Don't listen to the cunt. Son.
What do you think?
Fucking fire on.
What do you think,
Fire on,
Sonny?
man.
Saint?
Keep believing, Neil. Keep believing.
Doesn't he believe he's rich?
Exactly. Loaded. Neil Finn. I'm going to go first. I'm learning one of his tunes now with Andy McLaughlin. Big shout out to Andy. I think Neil Finn is possibly one of the greatest songwriters of his own generation. I would say. I don't think I've ever heard a bad Crowded House tune. And they're just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I can't go any further than that. So I'll pass it over to you boys. Go and trash him.
Neil?
No,
I would agree.
I
I would agree with that.
I would.
Aye.
Yep.
I think he's got a lot of good tunes. Aye. I think he's underrated.
Very much
a lot
so.
of his.
He says he's now playing with Fleetwood Mac now, so he's doing alright.
Is he?
Aye, apparently. He's currently a member of Fleetwood Mac. So
What's the script with that then? What's he doing with
I
them?
don't know.
Is Crowded House not a thing anymore? I thought they were still playing in that
Actually,
Crowded
don't
House.
know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't
Fucking
know.
way out of touch, but
Merv,
I
you've
love
seen him, haven't
Crowded
you?
House.
You've seen Neil Finn?
Aye, seen.
What's the one I'm learning in A Distant Sun?
Aye.
Aye, good
I
tune.
love
He's
that
got,
tune,
he's
man.
got a lot of good hits. I think he's underrated songwriter. I was listening to some of their stuff recently. I think it's quite maybe in a sense sort of. I wouldn't maybe not ahead of its time, but definitely of that time, what 90s sort of guitar music. You know, like
Got a lot of that 90s beat about it, isn't it?
aye, it's definitely decent. Some of the stuff, aye,
I love it, man.
decent tunes.
Anybody else want to add to this?
No, a genius, man. Fucking genius. Been listening to a lot of the
That'll be
Crowded
another.
House. I was Saint, definitely. Crowded House, the greatest hits. Just when I've been out and driving and that. It's just fucking brilliant. So many good songs, man. So many good songs.
So, Neil Young.
I think he's the better Johnny Cash.
Aye.
Aye, for me, he's a Saint. I think. For me,
Spanks.
I think he's fucking brilliant. I saw Saint for me. Easy.
What's your favourite Neil Young song?
Old Man. Is that what it's called? Is it called Old Man?
Old Man, forget about now. That one?
Yeah. No. Or Needle on the Damage Done. One of those two, I would say.
Look Out Joe is a good Neil Young song, which I never knew about for a long time, but it's one of those songs that I listen to a lot of times in a row. Like sometimes when you find a song like that, Look Out Joe. Cinnamon Girl's probably my favourite Neil Young song.
Oh yeah, that's a fucking great tune.
He does some nice bluesy tunes and all, doesn't he?
He's definitely got two different, at least two different vibes. He's obviously got that acoustic sort of
singer-songwriter
guitar
thing.
But he's definitely got a sort of heavier element as well.
Cinnamon
But
Girl's
I
right in
think
the
he's
middle.
one of these guys.
I would say.
What's that?
Cinnamon Girl's got that groove. It's kind of right in the middle of rock and acoustic.
Apparently he plays. I actually tried to watch a gig recently, but he never plays his hits, and he's got loads of tunes. So I think it's
Dylan does that.
notoriously quite difficult for people at the gigs. But I would say I would say if there was a scale of Neils. And the order would be out of the three. Obviously Neil Diamond would be the bottom of the scale, and then Neil Finn in the middle, and then Neil Young would
Neil
be
Young at the
highest in that
top,
scale.
yeah.
So definite saint.
Yeah.
And then obviously Neil McDougall.
Yeah, the very top.
Yeah, you nearly forgot him.
The cherry,
Forgot
the
him.
cherry, on top of the cake.
She's one me did this bonus one, aye.
No, do you like Neil Young? Neil Young. Have you answered
definitely,
that?
I said, aye, definitely. I shouldn't even need to answer that, to be honest.
What, the bonus is more topical. I put in a bonus, Neil.
I don't want to talk about this, so you can do it.
The bonus is Neil Lennon. I was looking for famous Neils.
Banger. End of story.
John Lennon's brother.
I'll have to agree with Swanee because I don't know him. So
I don't hire mate, but he's a fucking banger. He's wasted my whole fucking life. Fuck him.
Refusing to
Banger.
leave, I believe. Refusing to. What I'm reading is he's like.
Clearly
what do you mean
waiting
leave?
for a payout. I know. Listen, I never thought the day would come where I'd be sitting anywhere in public saying that Neil Lennon was a banger, but he's actually brought it to the point where it's, what else can you say? You know, what else that's all there in front of you? So I don't even want to get into it. I really don't, because I'm sick. I don't know, any Rangers pals watching this, I'll be chuckling away and laughing, and I can remember stopping there, turning around, and I hope you have a great night, and I hope you fucking choking it.
Are you still needing that weekend off for the 10, mate? Are you still in the
Spanko, you know what you can do?
Go fuck
Kneel
yourself.
down and suck my dick. That's what you can do. Since it's
Neil
on
down.
Neil
I like
down.
that. It's still topic, it's good.
Well, that was a nice, easy one, and then we'll get some guests in, ladies and gentlemen, for you next time. And we've got to know Neil a little bit better this week. So thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Neil.
Yes.
No problem.
Thanks, Neil.
Cheers, mate. All right. Thank you. Thanks very much for listening to the Carbon Copy COVID Curer podcast. We'll be back soon with another ill-informed, chat-filled episode. Why not tell us what you think by email? Inquiry at carboncopymusic.band or visit our website, carboncopymusic.band. And if you're feeling really generous and you haven't already, please give us a like on our Facebook, facebook.com/carboncopy4, and even our Instagram, @carboncopyweddingband. Thanks again. No bangers or ham during the making of this podcast. Carbon Copy reserve the right to moan about anything they like, and they will. Thank you.